The Unification of Italy, or the Risorgimento, was a movement in the 19th century that led to the creation of a unified Italian state. For centuries, Italy was divided into separate kingdoms and territories, but through diplomacy, war, and revolution, Italy became a single nation. In this video, we'll explore the major events and figures behind Italy's unification and its lasting impact. Before unification, Italy was a patchwork of independent states, with foreign powers such as Austria, Spain, and France holding influence over various regions. The Kingdom of Sardinia, the Papal States, the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, and others made up the Italian Peninsula, each with its own rulers and interests. The fragmentation made Italy vulnerable to foreign domination and internal instability. However, nationalist sentiments grew during the early 19th century, inspired by the success of revolutions across Europe. Italian unification was inspired by a growing sense of nationalism that spread across Europe in the early 1800s. Writers and intellectuals, such as Giuseppe Mazzini, advocated for a united Italy based on shared language, culture, and history. Mazzini founded Young Italy, a movement that aimed to establish a republic through revolution. Although early revolts failed, Mazzini's ideas laid the groundwork for future efforts. His vision of a unified Italy inspired the masses, although it would take decades of struggle to achieve. The Kingdom of Piedmont-Sardinia, under the leadership of King Victor Emmanuel II and his Prime Minister, Count Camillo di Cavour, played a central role in the unification process. Cavour was a skilled diplomat who believed that Italy could be unified through strategic alliances and military force, rather than revolution. Cavour sought to modernize Piedmont-Sardinia and forge alliances with powerful European nations. His efforts would prove critical in achieving unification. The first major step toward unification came in 1859 when Cavour formed an alliance with France's Napoleon III. Together, they launched a war against Austria, which controlled much of northern Italy. After a series of battles, including the famous Battle of Solferino, Austria was forced to cede Lombardy to Piedmont-Sardinia. This victory energized the movement for unification and encouraged other Italian states to consider joining forces with Piedmont-Sardinia. While Cavour worked through diplomacy and alliances, Giuseppe Garibaldi, a charismatic general and nationalist, took a more direct approach. In 1860, Garibaldi led his famous Expedition of the Thousand, a volunteer army that landed in Sicily and quickly overthrew the Bourbon monarchy in the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies. Garibaldi's campaign was incredibly successful, and by the end of 1860, he had handed over control of southern Italy to Victor Emmanuel II, effectively uniting northern and southern Italy under the same crown. On March 17, 1861, the Kingdom of Italy was officially proclaimed, with Victor Emmanuel II as its first king. However, the unification process was not complete. Venetia, still controlled by Austria, and Rome, held by the Papal States and protected by French troops, remained outside the new kingdom. The newly formed Italian government now had to work to consolidate its power and bring the remaining territories under its control. In 1866, Italy allied with Prussia in its war against Austria. Following Prussia's victory, Venetia was ceded to Italy, bringing another major region into the fold. This left only Rome and the Papal States outside Italian control. In 1870, with France preoccupied by the Franco-Prussian War, Italian troops seized the opportunity to capture Rome. The city became the capital of the Kingdom of Italy, completing the unification process. While Italy was now a unified nation, the country faced significant challenges. Regional differences, economic disparity, and political instability made it difficult for the new government to create a cohesive state. The North was industrialized, while the South remained largely agricultural, leading to tensions that would persist for decades. Additionally, the relationship between the Italian state and the Catholic Church was strained, with the Pope refusing to recognize the legitimacy of the new kingdom. The unification of Italy was a monumental achievement, but it was only the beginning of the country's journey toward nationhood. Over the next few decades, Italy worked to build a national identity and strengthen its position in Europe. Despite its challenges, the unification of Italy marked the birth of a new power on the European stage. The Risorgimento inspired other nationalist movements in Europe and played a crucial role in the development of modern Italy. The unification of Italy was a complex and hard-fought process that brought together a divided land. From the diplomacy of Cavour to the daring exploits of Garibaldi, the story of Italian unification is one of determination and vision. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth history content. Your support helps us bring more engaging stories like this to life.